Every morning, it begins the same way. A cup of coffee, a bar of chocolate, a bottle of water, simple things, familiar things. But what if all of them led back to one name, one company that touches more lives than any government and shapes more choices than any religion? A company that began with compassion and grew into controversy. This is the story of Nestlé, the brand that feeds the world and the empire that learned to control it. The birth of a dream. The year was 1867. Switzerland was cold, poor and hungry. Infant mortality was rising. In a small village lab, a pharmacist named Henri Nestlé worked alone. His dream: to save the babies who couldn't be breastfed. After months of trial and failure, he made a mix: cow's milk, wheat flour and sugar. It worked. The babies who were dying started to live. He called it farine lactée, a miracle in a tin. Soon his formula spread across Europe. Every tin carried a logo: a bird feeding her chicks, a promise of care, a symbol of hope. That was the beginning. But like every story of hope, greed was waiting. The rise of a giant. By the early 1900s, Nestlé wasn't just a product, it was a revolution. Factories rose across Europe. Milk, chocolate, and condensed cans rolled off assembly lines. Then came war. World War I. Soldiers needed food that lasted. Nestlé provided powdered milk. By the time the war ended, the company had doubled in size. Then came World War II, and with it, Nescafé, instant coffee. Light, fast, and strong, it fueled armies, rebuilt nations, and woke the modern world. When peace returned, Nestlé was no longer Swiss, it was global, a brand trusted everywhere, and yet it was just getting started. The baby formula scandal. In the 1970s, Nestlé began selling baby formula in developing nations. The ads were bright, the message seductive. Modern mothers use formula. Science is better than nature. They sent saleswomen dressed as nurses into hospitals and clinics. Free samples were handed out. And mothers were told, your milk isn't enough. By the time their natural milk dried up, they had no choice but to buy Nestlé's product. But clean water was rare. Many mixed the powder with contaminated water. Babies fell sick. Many died. Doctors and activists cried out. Nestlé denied it. But the world had seen enough. The outrage began. Boycotts, protests, and one haunting name, the baby killer, a company born to save infants, was now accused of exploiting them. The chocolate empire. Nestlé's next empire was sweet. Kit Kat, Milky Bar, Crunch, Smarties, childhood in every wrapper, but behind every bite was bitterness. Cocoa, the soul of chocolate, came from farms in Ivory Coast and Ghana. There, children as young as 10 worked long hours with machetes, cutting cocoa pods under a burning sun. Investigations revealed these beans supplied the world's biggest chocolate brands, including Nestlé. The company said, "We don't own those farms," but critics said, "You own the system." Even today, the shadow of child labor still follows their sweetness. The water wars. Then came water, the most basic need of all life. Nestlé began bottling it, Pure Life, Perrier, Poland Spring, and selling it for profit. In Pakistan, India, California, villagers watched their wells dry, while Nestlé trucks rolled out full. In an interview, a Nestlé executive once said, "Water is not a human right, it's a resource, and it should be privatized." Those words set the world on fire. Protests erupted from Europe to Africa. People accused Nestlé of stealing water from the poor and selling it back to them in plastic bottles. But business kept flowing, because for Nestlé, water wasn't sacred. It was scalable, the cost of convenience. Nestlé had mastered comfort. Coffee, chocolate, water, noodles, cereal, the world's cravings, all under one name. But convenience has a cost. Mountains of plastic in oceans, rivers poisoned with waste, communities drained dry. They promised to go green, to recycle, to change. But for many, it was too late. Because the truth was simple. Nestlé had become too big to control. When you feed the world, you also consume it. The legacy. Henri Nestlé began with love. A man who wanted to save lives, and in many ways he did. He gave nourishment, comfort, joy, but somewhere in the race for growth, the mission turned into a machine. A company built on milk now owns the world's water. A brand born to feed now profits from addiction. Nestlé became the symbol of our age, where kindness turns into commerce and care becomes control. Every cup of coffee, every chocolate bar, every bottle of water is a reminder of that truth. Nestlé feeds the world, but it also feeds itself. So next time you sip, bite, or twist a bottle cap, ask yourself, is it comfort you're buying or control? Because sometimes the sweetest things hide the darkest taste. Nestlé, good food, good life, or just good business?